Hey, what up? This is Corey.
This is Roy.
And we're Stonesour, and you're watching Late Night Metal. I'm Corey, singer.
I'm Roy, play drums.
It's cool. It's cool to be nominated for a Grammy, but I guess I'm kind of a cynic when it comes to that stuff. You know, I look at the audience more than I do like a group of people I've never met before voting on my fate. You know, it's kind of clandestine and weird, and it is what it is. So if we win, it'll be cool. It's, you know, but if exactly, I mean, if we don't win, it's the show must go on, right?
The fact that we got recognized, you know, by the industry, that's pretty cool too, you know.
I've had pretty much every kind of hairdo known to man, you know, including the mullet. Oh, I had one. Yeah. Huh? Well, close. Yeah, a couple extra colors, but yeah. So, you know, it is what it is, you know. Hair is just fucking hair. Like, too many people put so much stock on that shit. It's like, let it go. I don't know. It just kind of works itself out. You know? I learned a long time ago that if you try to shove something too big into a very small hole, it's not going to work, you know? So you have to just kind of let things happen. You have to let things go the way they have to go. And it's all about priorities at the end of the day. You know, when I'm at home, I'm doing my thing with my kids. And when I'm on the road, I'm working, you know? When it's time to do Stonesour, it's time to do Stonesour. When it's time to do Slipknot, I do Slipknot. And, you know, and so it works itself out. It's very symbiotic. You know, I'm so many different people at so many different times during the day that you really have to know who you are to be able to do this. And luckily, I've kind of known that for a few years. So it's not as hard as you think. You don't get a lot of sleep, but at the same time, you accomplish so much, you know. Plus my nude stand-up comedy, which I do on Sundays. Well, I realize it's Sunday now, but it's today. Probably I don't have any new material, so you know. Plus, I don't want to show everyone my shortcomings. But how's that? Right? It's very cold. Very cold up there. Don't judge me. The reason that we brought Stonesour back was because I kind of found myself doing Slipknot, but not really being able to do the things that I wanted to do, you know, which was one of the reasons that I joined Slipknot in the first place, was to be able to do pretty much anything. And once the band got up and going, it turned into kind of heavy all the time, just heavy. And that's never been me. Like, I've never been one-sided. I've never wanted to be just that one thing. So me and Josh had kind of been putting the project together, and it just is what it evolved from it. You know, there was a lot of melody, but there was also like a harshness to it. It just felt really good, and it kind of tied in with where Stonesour was heading when I left. So it just made sense to come back and do that, and it's probably one of the best decisions I had ever made. You know, there's a huge difference, man. Not knocking American crowds, because they're good, you know, on a lot of levels. But there's an acceptance here that you really don't find anywhere else, man. I mean, there's an acceptance here. There's an embracing and love for music that is so purely European, you know. I mean, anywhere you go, especially on your own shows, man. When you play your own shows and the kids come out, I mean, it is such a celebration, you know. And I hope I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but it's. Like, I mean, let's put it this way: the last time we were over here, we were doing our own headlining run, and I mean, every show, like, was just incredible. I mean, it was so good that I was just like, man, what the hell is going on? Like, it was crazy. And it was probably the best tour I've ever had in Europe. Like, it was so much fun. The crowds were just so amazing, you know, that you're just like, man, this really is the difference, you know. I mean, and America can be kind of, not conceptualized, but encapsulated, you know. I mean, you have your metal fans, you have your rock fans, you have your, you know, your punk fans. I mean, they're very, very tight into their genre, you know, and that's not a bad thing. But at the same time, it makes acceptance of new things very hard. Here, I mean, you could be into Burzum and into, you know, the Towers of London, and it's fine, you know, which is cool, and that's something that I've always loved about Europe, is that if you have fans, they're fans for life, and they stay with you, and if you try different things and it works, they will embrace it, and that's something that I think a lot of the rest of the world could really figure out. That song was just I was so fed up with everyone kissing his ass and not saying what needed to be said, because, you know, I mean, not putting all the blame on him, but a lot of the blame goes on him because he's the figurehead, you know, he's the quarterback or whatever you want to call him. He's the guy that he's you know, he's the one that's kind of smiling at you, feeding you a line of bullshit, and I got tired of nobody calling bullshit on him, and not enough people were saying enough. Not enough people were mad about everything that was going on. What? Fuck him. Fuck George W. Bush. I'm afraid of what he's turned the image of America into. Because, I mean, it's not like we were, you know, best buds with the world to begin with, but now we're this, yeah, I mean, we're this snarling fucking police state that nobody trusts, and that is fucking, that's sad, because, you know, that shouldn't be a representation of the entire country, you know. I come overseas and people find out that I'm American, and yeah, exactly. I mean, they have no idea what the repercussions are, and it's really spiraled out of control. It's gotten to the point where it's like, you got to tell people you're Canadian, and seriously, I mean, it works. You know, you tell people you're Canadian, oh, how are you? You know, it's all good. Oh, yay. Yeah, hockey, eh? You know, it sucks, you know? It just makes you not want to go abroad, and it's something that hopefully with the next election we can start to put behind us, but it seems to always fucking happen when a Republican is in office. It seems to, and when somebody from Texas becomes president. I mean, it's
Obama coming up next.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
I'm pretty much down for that.
we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I just I lost a lot of faith in our country because of that, you know. I mean, 9/11 was bad enough, but then it turned into this snarling fucking propaganda machine, you know. It really did. They used that as a reason to go in and exploit all these different countries, and it was embarrassing. And yeah, 6 years later, I mean, nothing has really changed, and they're still trying to push this agenda about the war, and it's obviously not working. It hasn't been working for years. Yeah, exactly. The whole reason we're over there is to make money for his 1% buddies, and that's it. And you know, I don't even know what I am anymore. I just say I'm from Iowa. You know, I don't even say I'm from America anymore. I just say I'm from Iowa. You know, I love my country, but I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be from America. There's a 70s mentality to this band, where it's like, it's really kind of against the grain of what a lot of bands kind of form to do these days, you know? Absolutely. I mean, we get up there and it's just us and our instruments, you know, whereas a lot of fucking bands have to have, you know, the fucking fire and explosions and shit. And coming from a band that uses that, it can fucking be cool. But when it's all there is, you know, when you're just kind of fucking standing there, you know, and shit's exploding around you, and you look like you just wandered onto a set of a movie, and you just seem very out of place, then it doesn't fucking work. I mean, if you're gonna come out and say, come see us live, it better be a representation of who you are. Don't just throw a bunch of fucking shit up on stage and expect people to go, oh, they're fucking amazing, you know? Which is why we go on stage and it's us, man, you know? We may have lights, we may have, you know, a fucking banner behind us, but I mean, it's bare fucking bones. And that's the mentality. That's the mentality, is that if you can't come across live just being yourselves, then you have no fucking reason to be on stage. I think we're just a lot of little things rolled into one with our own personalities. I think.
Think about it. It just kind of comes out that way. You're not really consciously thinking, oh, we're gonna do this and sound like this. Just do it.
We kind of let things happen, you know, instead of trying to shove an agenda on an unsuspecting audience. We just kind of let things play out the way they're supposed to, you know. And I think that's why so many people have embraced us, because we haven't tried to, you know, start our own fad or start our own genre or start our own blank core, you know, like, yeah, I mean, every band seems to like, oh, we're emo core or hardcore or softcore or porncore or fucking blah, blah, blah core. And we're just like, we're Stonesour.